Hi everyone, welcome to this video dedicated to include guards. So include guards are some defines or some usage of the preprocessor in order to solve some issues at compiling when you have complex programs. So this doesn't apply on very simple program, but it's for beginners. You don't absolutely need it, but maybe you will see code that will use them. So the idea is to understand what this piece of code with using the preprocessor is doing. So for this, we will illustrate this. We will use the smallest code possible that exhibit the issue that can arrive. Okay, so let's have a look. So we have three files child.c. So let's have a look. These are very simple files. So we have just a hello world. Okay, so the issue here is not the code itself, but the headers and how to include them properly with the proper usage of the preprocessor. So here we are including stdio.io in order to avoid a warning when using printf. But okay, again, the problem is not here, is there in parents. So for example, so what happens in parents? Parents just include grandparents as nothing else, and grandparents is just defining a structure foo that contains just one integer called member. Okay. And what happens when you try to compile this piece of code? Compiler is complaining that the structure foo has been defined twice. And why is that? It's because you include grandparent.h, so this structure definition right here. You include parent.h that includes this structure again, and so you have twice the definition of the foo structure in child.c, and then the compiler say, okay, why 2? So 2 is not good. To avoid this, it's possible to use include guards, so-called include guards that you have, and that's a good practice to use them in each header file you have in your program. How does that work? So it's in normally in any in any header. So parent.h as well. So we will solve the problem by introducing them only in grandparent.h. So here, that's how it works. If and def, and then you have to if grandparent h scene. Okay. Whoops, what did I do? Hash if and def. Yeah, okay. I forgot to go in set mode. And then in that case, then you define this variable, this macro, okay? H and def. So what does that mean? It means that the first time you will process grandparent.h, this variable will not be defined. So if and def means, okay, if not defined. So if this variable is not defined, then I will integrate this piece of code. And in this piece of code, then I have a hash defined grandparent.h, grandparent.h scene. Okay, so then it will be included. And then the second time, when I will be in here, so the first time when I include this one, I will have the definition of struct foo. But then here in parent.h, that will be that will process that it will include grandparent.h again. This one will not be evaluated as this time grandparent.h scene is already defined, and so this condition is false, and so this code is then not included, and so you will have structure foo defined only once. Okay, so now let's try to compile our little piece of code, and I think we have our hello world, so it works, right? So as I said, it's not something that you really need when you're just beginning with C language, but it's more about understanding these include words when you see them in existing code. Yes, so that's it for it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.